Every soldier that has ever gone to war always comes back with a scar. But of course, sometimes the scar could be physical. Other times, it could just be something inside. My name is Laoli Bitoye, and today we'll be talking about scars. Scars are the marks that are left with us much after we've overcome or much after we've gone through some really difficult times. We've all had that part of our lives or that season of our lives. Some of us are still going through them. Some of us have passed through some and we've overcome and we are currently in others. But at every single time, at every single point in our lives, we are all going through one thing or the other. And they leave scars, they leave marks, they leave us with things that just refuse to disappear, just refuse to go. And sometimes those scars serve as a reminder. Other times those scars bring back the pain afresh, bring back the memories afresh. Now I would say this, that a scar is only a scar at the time when it doesn't hurt anymore. Imagine a wound you picked up when you were a kid, and fine, it's all gone now, but you can still see the mark that was left on that part of your body, even though it's healed, but you can still see the mark of where it used to be right there. So we call it a scar because it's a wound that is healed, but the mark is still there, but it doesn't hurt anymore. So if at any point in time you have a scar and that scar still hurts, then it's not a scar, it's probably still a wound. A lot of us have wounds that we've buried or that we've swept under the carpet or that we've covered up with clothes or with smiles or with seeming materials to make it look like we're fine, we're good, we're okay, but we're actually really hurting deep inside. They are not scars. We still carry wounds. We still carry pain. We still carry hurt. It doesn't always have to be physical scars. It could be emotional scars, psychological. It's what is left after we've gone through some terrible or some tough seasons or some rough patches in our lives. And truth be told, at every phase of our lives, we are always going through one of those times or the other. We're always fighting one battle or the other, one struggle or the other. So we at times get to swim through and make it to the other side, while other times we just let ourselves go and we drift in the current. Many of us carry wounds that we've covered up over time, and we've learned to live with them. We've learned to seemingly deal with them. We carry bitterness, we carry unforgiveness, we carry strife, we carry malice, we carry grievances over a long period of time. Interestingly, some of us even play ignorance. We try to ignore and pretend as if it's not there. But you know what happens? The bottle one day breaks. The bottle, you keep pushing everything down until you keep pushing it down, pushing it down, pushing it down, pushing it down. Someday it breaks. Fine, yours may not be a bottle, yours may be a carpet. But if you've ever done any serious sanitation in your house, you know that there's always that piece of furniture that once you move it, you find all the baggage you've been hiding, all the things you've been sweeping under, you find it under there. Yeah. So what I want us to do, right, is to move some furnitures. Okay? Move some furnitures within. Alright? Move some furnitures within. And let's open up on some of those wounds that we buried up. Okay, let's open them up. Not because we're trying to relieve them or we're trying to bring them back all over again, but because as long as you cover it up without allowing it to heal, it should constantly be an extra baggage. It should constantly be an anchor that holds you down to that one thing. At those times are when anything that triggers the memory or the thoughts of those times, of those things that you once went through, it brings back the pain afresh. It brings back the thoughts, the memories, the torment. It brings it back. Sometimes these scars can be from past relationships. Sometimes there could be abuse from family. Sometimes there could be molestations from peers, from friends. Sometimes it could be a false accusation. Sometimes it could be actually a habit. Sometimes it could be some of the choices and patterns we once lived, some choices we once made, and we've gone through some of those things, or we are still going through some of those things. And yes, it can be a rough patch. But if you were like me, as a kid, each time I pick up a wound, of course, I know the moment mom sees it, here comes methylated spirit and iodine and injection violet, that purple stuff. And then there was this, I think, tetracycline or so, and this yellow and red capsule which they open up and put on the wound, and that thing hurts as shit. Pardon the language. But because of the pain of treating the wound, I hide the pain of the wound. So I cover it up. And of course, could hide it for days. And the interesting thing is, it actually stays as it is. Yeah, don't give me that part of where, the wound will heal itself and all of that. True, it will, but I think sometimes, right, medical personnel stay out of this, okay? Sometimes the wound does heal itself, the body regenerates itself over time, and I don't know, but maybe it is those times when the regeneration process doesn't go well, that's why we are left with scars on our body. But of course, I do know that there are some wounds I had that were actually treated medically, but I still have scars. But the point is that we should actually open up those wounds, not cover them up. Yeah, they are painful, true. And sometimes it could even be more painful treating the wound than carrying it around. But the truth is, treating the wound may be painful but for a moment, but it gives a lifelong healing. before a wound can become a scar, it has to first go through the moment or the process of exposure, of treatment, of letting go. And that's what I want us to do. Opening up the wounds, peeling up the layers and layers and layers of covers that we've used to hide them all up, swept them under the carpet and under the furniture just to hide them from public eyes. Of course, we shouldn't wash our dirty linens outside, but we should find someone qualified who can actually help us through. You would not give a carpenter to treat a wound for you. You look for a nurse or a doctor. So also find your nurse, your doctor who can help you heal through those emotions, through those hurts and pains that you're carrying around. Most of us have carried these hurts and pains and wounds into our relationships, and we've messed things up in our new relationships because of what happened in our previous ones. We've messed up business relationships and business opportunities because of past hurts and experiences that we have not really moved away from. We've lost opportunities because we would not stop judging everyone that presents us with the heart of what someone else has done to us. My encouragement today is that we open up these wounds to someone and allow someone else help us treat the wounds, so that we can actually find the healing, the closure that we really need to move on, to move up, to grow, to be better, to actually heal. So that when we find or when we see those scars and we remember those times, it can actually be a story to tell that will encourage others, and not a story that will tell that will bring back the hurts and pain afresh. Scars are usually the soldier's way of telling stories of battles won. Scars are like your badge. They're like your badges that say that I went through this and I came out alive, I came out stronger, I came out better. Because it's no more a wound, it's no more painful, but I'm still here. And this is what I got to show that I went through it. So let's open up those wounds. Let's sweep out the carpet. Let's open up the covers and begin our journey of healing. And I'm sure that we will find that peace, we will find that healing, we will find that wholesomeness that we seek desperately. The 516 is built on the belief that when we share these parts of ourselves with others, and then we encourage, support, pray for one another, we can actually find healing that God promised us. Right? We can actually find that wholeness that we so desperately seek. My name is Lauli Bitoye, and this is Creed 516 chapter 4, titled Athens. Have a wonderful time ahead.